Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share, how much leave a like. Comment below and know your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into a YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, another solid 3-hour SmackDown. It is really feeling like, okay, now we're on full focus to WrestleMania. Let's just go full throttle into that. And, I feel like a lot of things are starting to get shape form. We had a couple of title matches. I really thought we were going to change the women's U.S. title, which is probably needed. It's no disrespect to Chelsea Green. It's actually no disrespect to her at all. I think she's been doing great work. I just think, they haven't really given that much effort to that title. I'm very curious to see how Alba Fire comes into play. I guess she's going to be part of the security for Chelsea Green. I just don't know how that character will be applied to that, because Alba Fire is kind of like a spooky character, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely familiar with her. I didn't watch much of her work in NXT. Most of what I know her from is from her main roster stuff with Isla Dawn, but Isla's no longer with us, so now Alba, what are you gonna do? Okay, we're gonna put you with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Maybe she can be like, the loose cannon type for them. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I am intrigued by that angle. I'm just hoping now, because again, Michin, because they're trying to keep her strong, and I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. I just need Chelsea Green to face other people. That's all it is. Like, I'm over the Michin feud, man. I just don't need it anymore. I need Chelsea Green to be facing some other people. Now, who's left in the mid card, I don't know. Maybe Alexa Bliss spent some time in there too, but I don't know how Alexa Bliss doesn't get the win over Chelsea Green. But I also think Alexa Bliss may be better suited for the tag division with Nikki Cross, because I think it's pretty obvious that she is going to be part of the Wyatt Six, and maybe that is what the Wyatt Six need the most right now, is a star that is already well known. Bo Dallas was well known, and the group got started very hot, but then they would disappear for a little bit. Well, more than a little bit, for a while. I mean, hell, when was the last appearance? Was it January? I don't think they've shown up at all in 2025. I think the last appearance was 2024. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just need Chelsea Green to face some other opponents, like a BFAB, just some other people that are within the mid card, and just really build it up a little bit more. Because right now it's just been Michin, and I'm just over it. Like, I don't care what stipulation they have in it, and what cool gears that they have. Like, it was cool seeing Chelsea Green dressed like Cactus Jack. The match really didn't do much for me, and again, it's nothing against those two ladies. I'm just over them scrapping. But yeah, we got that. We also got LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. LA Knight won. Another match where it didn't really do that much for me either. Again, it was fine. It was good. It was just, I knew LA Knight was winning, and there was no jeopardy within that. And I was just kind of waiting until we got to the finish. Now, they started getting me a little bit towards the end with the ref bumps and him missing the ref. And I was like, oh man, this is how we're going to screw LA. Then we're going to have to keep it going. But no, went all the way through it. Hits the BFT on the chair. 1, 2, 3. I would assume they have another rematch. Again, it's just a matchup I'm just over with. I'm ready for LA Knight to move on to other people. Maybe face Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Maybe face Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania for that U.S. title. But I'm not really interested in Shinsuke versus LA Knight continuing, but I don't see how it doesn't, considering Shinsuke lost the title, and he lost it by, messy circumstances with, a chair being involved and all that fun jazz. So we'll see. Or maybe, Shinsuke takes some time off, to actually mourn the loss of his brother, which, we can't fault him for whatsoever. But yeah, if we are to do one more match, I'm not really sure if I'm fully up for that, but hey, it is what it is. But besides those two things, I really liked all the things that we did on this episode of SmackDown, like Orton coming out, claiming he's going to prove that Pat McAfee's the second best punter in all of WWE, because he's going to punt Kevin Owens. But from my understanding, the punt is also banned, so we will see what match to be. Because I think you need to have both moves present, the pile driver and the punt, present for that match. Maybe, I don't know if we can do this in 2025, but first to hit the finisher type thing, where like, okay, whoever hits the pile driver first, or whoever hits the punt first, then wins the match, and it's no DQ or something like that. I don't know if we can still execute that in 2025, but maybe that's the route we go, because again, I do believe the punt is banned. but they also didn't present the punt as if it was banned. It just seemed like Orton didn't have the urge to use the punt until he was pile drived by Kevin Owens. But good opening promo. I like the shots he took at Cena. I can only imagine Cena watching that, saying a good laugh, and texting Orton goes, hey, that was a good one. That was a good one. Calling that he's just Rock's bottom. That makes a whole new meaning to Rock Bottom. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Good stuff there too. And then Cody's promo as well was absolutely phenomenal. I like how he tied in the whole John Cena, you obviously won some, so come get some. I really am curious to see how we go with the storyline for this match, because there's a lot of ways that we can go about it, right? Why did Cena turn heel? He hasn't won a singles one-on-one match in over 1,000 days. Maybe he thinks the whole hustle, loyalty, and respect thing doesn't work anymore, so he has to go the whole other route so he can get the win. And if that's the storyline, and if this is truly to be Cena's final year, I think you have him lose at Mania to show, hey, what worked the first 16 times will work again. You just got to work a little bit harder. You got to be here a little bit longer. And instead of doing these out of the blue runs where, you're not here consistently. If you're doing a full year, you'll get to that. And maybe, post-Mania is him slowly finding his way back to the light. And therefore, he finally wins the 17 title on that final show. And then, he vacates it. And then, we have a tournament, presumably culminates at WrestleMania 42. But, if that's the storyline we go with, but we also put in these undertones of what is the face of the WWE. And how, Cody was talking about, you think your successor has to be just like you. Well, I am not like you. So now it's going to be like, like icon versus icon, face of the company versus face of the company. That's also an intriguing storyline to go with too. But there's also the other tad bit of heavy is the crown, where every day, the crown gets a little bit heavier. Him talking about how Cena said, it gets heavier every single day. And then, in January, CM Punk talking to him about like, hey, you want to be Bruno, you want to be doing these things, you're on edge, you're losing all your friends, blah, 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 blah. We have all of those undertones within the storyline as well. Rock saying, hey, come be my champion. I'll make it easier for you, because Rock's been there. And he's done that. And from my understanding, Rock hasn't had a long title reign in all of his times with it. So he understands how heavy the crown is, but he knows how it could be a little bit easier. I think I'm losing the plot there for a little bit, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, there's 3 very intriguing storylines that we can go with Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, and I'm hoping it's a hybrid of all 3 of them. But that was a hell of a promo by Cody to present all those 3 different types of things, because as he was talking, I was like thinking back. It's like, well, Punk talked to him about this, and he's bringing up Cena saying it gets heavier every single day. Okay, maybe that's a tad bit to it. Your successor doesn't have to be like you. Okay, well, all right, face of the company versus face of the company. Ideas of who that is and all that, that's pretty interesting as well. And then also just for Cena alone, just be like, why'd you do it? I haven't won in over 1,000 days. I'm desperate. I want to win the 17th championship. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to does that. So again, that promo, 5-star stuff. Yes, the eye's messed up. Travis Scott will get his receipt. Not everyone's going to be Bad Bunny. Not everyone's going to be Logan Paul. Or Stephen Amell. Sometimes accidents happen. And, that is a big mistake. Don't get me wrong. That is a big mistake. Cody got messed up. But it also adds a lot to the story as well, I will say. Like, that visual, it's pretty good icing on the cake when it comes to Saturday. So, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. But, yeah, Travis probably does deserve a receipt. He'll probably get it, and, he'll get it. And, he'll still be safe, but he'll take a beating at Mania 41. But, yeah, great segment overall. But that was not the segment of the night. And y'all know what the segment of the night was. And that was Bianca and Naomi and Jade going out. And I even said, because, they were posting the clip on Twitter, I was like, give them the Emmy. Give them the Emmy, because these girls were acting. I just like how real it felt. It felt very raw. Like, it didn't feel anime. It didn't feel animated whatsoever. Because usually with these promos, and, Bloodline kind of got away from that in 2020 when we didn't have fans. But once we got the fans back, it was very much, okay, let me finish what I'm going to say, and then you say what you're going to say, and then there's a pause, and then now, okay, here's my line, pause, okay, now here's your line, and that's how you get the what chance. When Naomi and Bianca started talking over each other, it just felt so real. And even though it wasn't on Monday, it felt very, very raw. And in the way that they were getting so emotional, because it was probably real to them. Like, hey, we're about to break up. And we're probably not going to see each other for a long period of time. I would assume Bianca is still somewhat involved within it, but I think that was the way to write Bianca out until post-Mania, where Bianca can just focus on Io and presumably Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania on Monday. She's going to stay there, and then Jade and Naomi can carry on over there. I just don't know how the program's going to go because Jade's obviously the babyface and is destroying her every single week. So does Naomi needs the win at Mania, presumably if the match happens at Mania. I'm not going to get too attached to that. I really wouldn't be surprised if this match blows off on WrestleMania SmackDown, which will suck. It would really suck because, again, this was such a great angle to go with. But yeah, she's talking about, oh, why are you leaving? Because of her, Naomi and me, and she did it. Why are you doing this? Because of her. You are an ungrateful bitch, calling Bianca that. And it was just like, damn it. Again, with the tears coming out of their eyes, because like, they probably got so close, and now, they're going to go their separate ways. But yeah, amazing segment over there too. Definitely segment of the night. Again, I'm really hoping Naomi versus Jade does make it to Mania. But again, I just don't really, I just can't buy into it completely after the times that I have been burnt so far when it comes to a one-on-one single women's match that doesn't involve a title. I'm just not going to get my hopes up for it, unfortunately. But yeah, hell of a segment. Great moment, great angle. And again, just good stuff all around. There was other stuff on SmackDown too. I really liked the whiteboard presentation that Nick Aldis did to explain the whole tag team turmoil. Had the triple threat match. It was fine. Pretty Deadly winning. Doesn't really do much for me because I know they're not going to win the tag team titles. I'm looking forward to DIY versus Street Profits. I would assume it ends in a no contest. I would very much assume it ends in a no contest. And therefore, after they face Pretty Deadly, then we do get the triple threat match. I assume the Motor City Machine Guns are going to get involved. Again, I'm excited for the match. I'm sure it's going to be fun for what it is. But again, I just don't think it's going to have a clean finish like Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa tonight as well. They just need to address it because they've literally done one on every single show. I think they limit themselves because I think one time they did 3 no contest finishes on one singular show, and it was just like, okay, that's much. So now they're like, okay, we're only going to restrain ourselves to 1 non-finish per show, but that's still 2 a week. And I'm not even counting NXT. I don't think NXT does it. I'm thinking off the top of my head, but I don't think it. But yeah, no, they need to take a break from no finishes for at least a month. And even then, that might be too soon. But yeah, overall, we're looking forward to it. I look forward to Mania. I'm looking forward to next week's SmackDown in Barcelona. Charlotte Flair versus B-Fab. I like that segment as well. I just hope B-Fab gets some time within that match as well. I just need Tiffany and Charlotte to be in promos more rather than matches instead of just costing each other matches after they get done with it. I'm not really fully buying into that. I just need Charlotte and Tiffany to be in actual promos. I get it. You're trying to get Tiffany over as this baby face, who gets beat down, so you want her to rise up. But I just don't think it works for her character. I just need 2 alpha females talk about why they are the alpha female. You can do Rock and Austin with women. You can. Just let them talk their shit. You don't need this whole underdog mentality, especially with the Tiffany Stratton. She's much more suitable when her ego is up here and she wants to back it up, and then she does, and she still gets cheered for it. But yeah, besides that, good episode of SmackDown overall. Just the U.S. title matches didn't really do much for me whatsoever. But yeah, I liked everything and of course the Tiffany and Charlotte angle as well. But the tag team turmoil stuff I liked, even though the matches were kind of eh. I also really liked, Bianca versus Naomi was an amazing segment. Cody was an amazing segment. But what did y'all think about it? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Leave a like if you made it this far within the review. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career as we are on the road to WrestleMania. So subscribe to be a part of that journey. Until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.